Hey there. Today, I'm going to talk about the topic of how to play funk guitar. Okay, my name is Dice Kimura. I'm an online guitar teacher at your service. And we're going to play some funk. Okay, so check this out. Actually, let me adjust this camera. I want you to see my right hand. I'm going to be explaining both hands to you. In today's lesson, it's going to be for intermediate and advanced, okay? I just want to preface that. In other words, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably not ready for this lesson, okay? Let me just say that up front, okay? So those of you that are ready to continue, let's continue, okay? We're going to play some funk. I'm going to play to an OJ's tune. This is For the Love of Money, and I'm just going to improvise and jam a little bit and show you the fundamentals of how to think as a funk guitar player. And this is going to get you started, okay? So basically, we're in the key of D. I'm using a Strat. I'm on the 4th position. You can either go to the 4th position or the neck pickup. Kind of get a warmer, bright sound. A warmer bell-like sound for funk. Strats are great. Telecasters are great. I'm using a little bit of gain, almost totally clean. This is clean on my amp. I'm using a Hughes and Kettner. But then I'm adding a little bit of drive with a tube screamer. Actually, I'm going to bring up the highs a little bit, back off the gain. Let's get a nicer blend. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this concept to you. Let me just start. I'm going to start by playing a little bit for you. If you like what I'm playing, then stick around and I'll explain it to you. So this is the OJ's For the Love of Money. I'm just going to do some easy, basic funk in the key of D. Check it out. So they get down a little bit there. So it's a nice place to cut it. So I was just doing a really basic. So before I get carried away, what's going on? I'm obviously in the key of D, and I'm using the pentatonic here. Disclaimer, like I said in the beginning of the lesson, if you don't know what that stuff is, this lesson probably isn't for you, okay? For those of you that know, this is a D pentatonic. I'm actually in Dorian mode. That's why I'm using that. And I'm isolating 2 strings at a time, 1, 2, or 3 strings at a time constantly. With funk, if you can just try to play 2 strings constantly, those, by the way, are called double stops. That's like a slang word in guitar for 2 strings. If you want to know the technical word, it's called an interval. But an interval is 2 notes. So you got an interval of like this note and this note. And just so you can see my right hand, let me just focus here. All right, so you're gonna use the first string and then the second string, and I'm on the pentatonic here on the 13th fret. So with the pinky, if I play both of those notes, and then I go back to the 13th fret first string and the 12th fret second string, and you'll notice that's in the Dorian mode. Okay, so this hand, the right hand with funk never stops. This is always going. So this is chunking up and down constantly, and then you're just choosing when you want to push down the left hand to engage. So you either engage the note, or you can not engage and just let it float over the strings, and it'll act as a cut like this. And you can move that note like this. I just moved it. Okay, that's one example. So that's one phrase I just showed you. If it's a funk phrase. It's delicious, isn't it? Now you can also do another one, which is here. And this is one of my favorites as well. This is just the octave of the first one. The first note we were doing, I just have my pinky on the 13th fret on the first and second string at the same time. And then you bring back that second string one fret to the 12th fret while you continuously play that first string 13th fret. Now this note is an F. It's the 13th fret first string. If I play the lower octave of that F, which is here on the third string, 10th fret, and I can play that 12th fret second string at the same time. Again, this is in Dorian. So I'm going to start from here, keeping that first finger on the third string 10th fret, and then I'm going to put the pinky on the second string 12th fret, and I'm going to slide the pinky up a fret and continue to play the third string with the second string, and I come back. So the interval is changing. The double stop is changing. The third string is constant, and the second string changes. Okay, so let me show you how to apply these two concepts. So we got, and then we got the lower octave with that cutting up and down, and then engaging whenever I want. Okay, I'll bring you back to the OJs. I'm playing this song For the Love of Money. I'm coming in around the 1 minute 104 mark. Here we go. Breakdown there, so I'm going to end it there. But yeah, that was the application of that phrase. Pretty simple. You just got to find that groove. You don't want to be too early. You don't want to be too late. You just got to sit nicely in the groove. And you're really, at this point, the key to funk is let the bass player and the drummer do all the work. Like, they're laying it down, and the people are clapping and dancing. And you just need to be the cherry on top. You don't need to do any heavy lifting. You don't need to play that bass line. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just play the little ding-a-ling-a-ling. It's easy. Okay, a little funk guitar for you. Now, if we can go to level 2, okay, I'm still kind of in the pentatonic slash Dorian. I'm using both concepts. So there's this thing I can do, which is a double stop on the second and third string on the 10th fret. Just one finger, just mash it down. And then I can go to the third finger, and I can also mash it down on the 12th fret, third and second string. So it's, notice that rhythmic approach where I'm coming in and out of engagement, but I'm moving in 8th notes or 16th notes. So I can like just... Okay, that's kind of cool. Let's see if I can apply that. Cool. I forgot to do that mean green section that just goes to G minor, and then A minor, and then back to D. And that's it. That's really basic. This is kind of intermediate, an introductory to funk, but it's also kind of an intermediate lesson. Just to recap, Dorian lets me use this note, which is that second straight 12th fret. So it's basically, here's your mode. So this note, the octave is here. So the pentatonic goes into that Dorian, which I can use. Okay, let me jam for you on this concept. I'm going to play kind of just some freestyle, and we'll see what comes out of it here. See if I can find a camera angle that I actually like. All right, here we go. So anyway, you see me kind of applying some of these principles. It's kind of difficult just there because the track got exceptionally busy. So I might have another pass at it in a second. But one thing I want to really leave you with is the concept that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay? That's really, really true with funk. I think so. They just keep doing the same thing over and over. And it's not about being profound and different every time. It's about saying, hey, man, that thing I said earlier was great. I'm going to say it again. And then that thing I said earlier was great. I'm going to say it again. It's like they don't apologize for doing the same thing over. And it kind of forces you to dance. It forces you to funk. It forces you to groove. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't keep trying to fix it. Don't keep trying to add more mojo and more flavor and more phrasings and more, you know, new interpretations of things, and just be cool with doing the same old same. Watch me funk out a little bit more for you before we wrap this up. Check it out. Yeah. So, anyway, you know, I heard Bruce Lee say, "You must be like a water," and he said, "You must be where your opponent is not." And I don't know anything about kung fu, but I tell you, that's kind of true with funk. You must be where your opponent is not. You must be, the guitar player must be where the drums and bass is not. You got to think of that. You don't want to be on top of each other. You guys got to be syncopating and complementing each other constantly, where you're always just somewhere else, accenting something different, or maybe you're at the same time for a second and then you diversify and you oscillate and you change. So there's a lot going on with some good funk playing. What I did, I tried to keep it as basic as I could, but just funking out in the key of D, in either D minor pentatonic, or if you know the mode, D Dorian. And I'm jamming to the OJ's For the Love of Money. That's a cool jam. Just find it on YouTube and start jamming to it. So check it out. Leave your comments, subscribe, like if you liked it. Hit me up if you want to get a Skype lesson, and I'll see you at the next video.